Hey everybody, it's Transition Tuesday. I'm Jane. This is Joe. Today we are talking about to school or not to school. That is the question. We are practicing wearing PPE today. I'm taking my mask off so you can see me talking. Joe is going to keep wearing his device, his practice device, face shield, which we showed you before. It's safety glasses with the headband and the face covering. So unfortunately, you are not going to be able to see Joe's face right now, but maybe we'll slide that down a little bit later. But I want to talk to you about going back to school. That's what is on everybody's minds. And honestly, I don't have an answer, but we are going to talk about the ways that you can make some of those decisions and plan for what you're going to do. Love our schools. Warrior Nation, man. Joe's got his warrior on. We really do love our school system, but Joe has a lot of medical issues which make it hard for us to make a decision about going back to school. Also, Joe's nonverbal, so he can't always tell me if he's not feeling well. And I know sometimes you don't know you have COVID until you get really sick. We just don't know, and that's what is so scary, is that none of us know for sure. So here are some ideas about making the decision to go back to school. Learn about your district's plans for reopening. Many schools districts have posted on their websites a delayed start date, what the policies and procedures for reopening will be. They've been trying to help parents make decisions about returning to school. And Facebook is great, but go to your district's website. Find out what your district information is to make a decision about that. Very important. Yes, consult with your friends. Yes, go to your community. But look at your district's plans. Teach kids about PPE. Now, while you still have a couple of weeks, go the distance to do that. I found this really great website. It's called Great Kids Place, and they have some really fun ways to practice wearing PPE for kids with sensory issues. I'm just going to list a couple of them. Play doctor and nurse, put the masks on stuffed animals. I would not do that with your pets unless you have a really docile dog or cat, but stuffed animals are safe. Bug exterminator. Play bug exterminator. Get pictures of bugs, which will also help you explain about germs and how they spread and bugs. So you can even do like little corona designs around and, get a water pistol and spray at the bad bugs while you're wearing your PPE. Firefighter. Put the fire out. You can build a house of cushions and push the fire down. Scuba diver with a mask. You can pretend to be swimming in the ocean and look at pictures of fish and do some things like that while wearing your mask. Fossil digger. As you dig for items in Play-Doh or kinetic sand, you can use the mask to make sure nothing gets in your mouth as you're digging. Or you could be a scientist working on science experiments and put a mask on. Those are all really great ideas. There's also information on face shield versus mask. For Joe, it's going to be a face shield. And this has been Joe's practice, and as you can see, he's learned to tolerate this very well. We've been wearing it when we go out, and he's really doing a good job of tolerating it. Want to see his face? Whoops, there he is. Still Joe. So we're going to go with the face shield option because having the mask on his face is not good. Whoops. And sometimes the glasses slip off his head, which the face shield will be better at that because it actually goes around your head. So we are still working on those things. Here's a couple of things. If you're gonna go back to school, you're gonna make the decision about face shield or mask. Have a quarantine plan. So let's imagine that the very worst happens. You get the phone call that either your child has, been has a fever and they are quarantining your child in school and you must come pick up your child, or somebody in the class ends up positive for COVID-19. Have a quarantine plan. Know what you're going to do in your house if somebody is sick or if somebody might have been exposed. I know several people where the COVID-19 has gone through the whole family in a big wave, like the flu does, and they've had to, pull that together quickly. So, make it easy on yourself. Come up with a quarantine plan for in your house. We were talking about this, my husband and I were talking about this last night, and our plan is for the person who's being quarantined to go in the basement. And we'll just let the person stay down there. We have an extra bathroom down there, and you pretty much could survive down there and keep everybody safe as possible. Although, I don't know. Who knows? But have a quarantine plan anyway. Know what services your child receives now, and compare to the at-home experience. I thought I had the wrong side for a second. So you always want to know what services your child has. But remember back to the spring and think about, has your child lost a lot of ground, or did you feel okay about how things were going? In Joe's case, in the self-contained environment, I think we did pretty well with at-home learning, but Joe doesn't take, Joe doesn't take academic courses in quite the same way, especially now that he is a high school graduate and he has finished his high school credits. So he's going back for job skills training and life skills and things like that. So that's a consideration. One other thing I read on the CDC website is that younger children seem to have a little bit better resistance to COVID-19 than older students. So, I'm just reading everything I can about what we do know about this illness and trying to make a decision based on that. So services like related services, speech, PT, OT, those are things that you really want to know about. How is that going to work in school and compare it to how it was during the spring? If you have to work and school is the only option because you can't leave your kids at home, totally understand. That is the reality for so many families. Find a communicator at the school. Find someone at school who will keep you informed about things just so you can do what you have to do. It's very important to have those relationships during COVID or not. So find that person that will, keep you informed about what's going on and help you be able to go do your thing and feel at peace as much as possible. If you're staying home, if the choices bend in the direction of, I just can't send my kid to school right now, whether it's because it's a gut feeling or because maybe your doctor has given you recommendations about, no, I think it's better for your child to stay home, or if that's just a choice you're making. You had a fabulous spring learning at home and you're just gonna go the distance. If that's your choice, make a schedule. Keep your kid on schedule. We've had summer. Do what you did in the spring if it worked well. If it didn't work well, think about some things that would really be better that you wish you had done, and make a schedule and stick to it. Know what and how services will be offered. You will have an IEP meeting if you choose to stay home, and all of those things will be ironed out with your district. There is a lot of concern about FAPE, free appropriate public education, being delivered in the distance learning environment, and you want to know what your school is offering. Very important. You want to be knowledgeable and you want to be able to discuss it at that IEP meeting. So make sure you know all those things and compare them to what your child would have if they were in school. If PE is essential and the only way you're getting it is through school, then that's a big consideration that you want to make. Stay connected to people at school. Even if your child is staying home, stay connected. Those relationships are important, because I'm hoping and praying that this isn't going to be forever. Make sure to plan virtual visits with classmates, teachers, family members, and friends, because social skills are important and you don't want your child to lose those things. It's a lot of big decisions to make right now, and I certainly can't tell you what to do. We're not even sure what we're going to do. I had made up my mind, but every day I read about more cases and I know people, and you know, I'm concerned just like the rest of you, so we're all working this out together. If you have any recommendations or ideas for either making the decision about going to school or staying home, if you have any websites or resources you would like to share, we would love to share them out. So comment on Facebook and we will share those with everybody who looks at us. You can also go to our previous videos if you want to go back to something we've done about PPE or learning online. Go to Transition Tuesdays with Jane and Joe on YouTube. And of course, you can email us at transitiontws@gmail.com. Joe has been my silent partner today because he's been working so hard at practicing his PPE. But there he is, and we will see you next week. Stay healthy, and let's all work together. Bye.